right, guys, so we're gonna get Charlotte changed today. Before we introduce the special video, as you see the title says, it's a painting tutorial part 1. Yes, it is. I have decided to share my painting tutorial for free with the world. Give you guys something to do while you're stuck at home, if you're stuck at home. Or if you want to try a new hobby to take your mind off of current life and whatever. So, or if you've always died to want to paint a Reborn because you would like to save money instead of having to buy a Reborn, well, that's what I'm here for. I want to take you guys on a journey and paint a doll with you. I'm not necessarily painting with you, but you know what I mean. I'm here painting, and you could grab a kit and paint along with me, and we're kind of painting together. So that's what I started working on last night. I was like, you know what? I just want to make a tutorial to share, and I thought it would be so fun. And so you're going to see the first part after we change Charlotte. And we're putting Charlotte into this super cute outfit. It says Calf Baby. Tina gave us this outfit. So adorable. I cannot wait to see it on her. She's going to be so cute. So yeah, I think part 2 will be up maybe tomorrow, because I'm hoping to have this baby available on the website tomorrow. That's like aiming really high for myself, just due to my emotions and how things have been recently. But I'm setting some goals and trying to push through. So I really would love to have this baby available on the website. I know for sure I will have her painting done today, because I really want to get the second part of the tutorial up for you guys. And then what I have to do after that is just her hair. So it'll be the hair, if anything, that's holding me up. But I will have her painting done tonight. So yeah, this outfit is super cute. My gosh, I love it. She says she's had it for a long time and asked me if Charlotte would like to wear it. And I was like, oh my gosh. Yes, she also gave us one of these. It's the same style, but it's bright yellow ducks. Really cute. Like ducks that like a rubber ducky. Not like a real duck. It is super cute. Jackie loves how the cow has heart-shaped cheeks. Well, there's little heart shapes in there. And then I have these pink little boots we're going to put on her to keep her little feet warm. Although she's not real, but still, I don't want to see her with no socks on, because then it makes me feel cold. Yes, it does. All right, guys, are you ready? Are you now ready to get into the painting? Here we go. First thing you're going to do is use thinning medium. You're going to coat the kit, and you're going to coat it all over. This is not the same kit that I'm going to be painting, but I forgot to record this part for you. So you coat all the limbs with thinning medium, and you brush it on there. If you see it thinning up, like you're stretching your product too far, add more thinning medium to your brush and just paint it on. See, I'm just going everywhere, getting in my creases and my mouth. Not my mouth literally, but the doll's mouth. And the ears, everywhere. Every inch of that vinyl needs to be covered. Then I use like a nice powder brush, blushing brush, and I pounce it off. Not pounce it off. What I mean is it's going to pounce any puddles off that shouldn't be there because of like pulling. Like I just got too much varnish in one area. And also why I use the brush versus a cosmetic sponge is that it gives like a texture like to the skin, which you're going to see here in just a moment. You can see as I'm working, but I like that. So that's a nice effect. It gives like a 3D effect to the doll. Looks pretty cool. And hey, that's how you do your first step. Then we get into the veins. So with the varnish, I should have told you back then, but you're going to bake it at level 6 for 6 minutes or 265 degrees for 6 minutes. You're going to bake it twice. And then when you pull it out of the oven, flip your limbs opposite way so they can cool. Then you put them in the oven that way facing up for another 6 minutes. Don't let the limbs touch. It's the only time the limbs should not touch is during the varnish layers because it sticks like glue. So as you see, I'm using varnish. You guys can use any kinds of blues that you like, whatever you're comfortable with. I use a phthalo blue. I'm going to jump up some photos. But I'm just kind of giving you like a basic vein idea. This is what I do. I never connect my upper veins to the lower veins. I don't know. I don't really have a rhyme or reason to what I do. Now, what we do is you go and you blot off the extra thinner and try to make the vein look more blended into the skin. So, you know, we want that. It looks natural. You don't want a super thin line and you don't want a super thick line. If you have too thin of a line, you get what I call pencil veins, and I hate them. They're horrible. I think they look awful. I don't like them, my personal opinion. I like this. It's more soft, subtle, under the skin. It doesn't look like a race car track or anything like that. So same thing for all the limbs. You're going to put all your veins. Here's the head. I thought it was really important to show you guys the head. I'm sorry it's so hard to record with my hand in the way, but I'm doing my best. So I'm just blotting off the extra thinner, and it's okay if you have to get a little rough to like blend the ends of the line in and just, you know, make it look more flush with the vinyl. That's fine. You just rub a little harder. See? Looks pretty cool. It's just simple. I don't have a rhyme or reason. I just do what I like and it looks to me. I'm really trying to show you guys here the vein placement. It's so hard to capture that in the camera, but gosh, this camera is doing amazing. If you're looking for a camera, I hear people say my film's on fire. It's an N10 One Plus. It's made by Android. Super cheap. It actually has the best camera on the market right now. So this is mottling, and we're going to do mottling. I more consider this like a skin wash. I don't use a lot of colors to create my dolls, and I do a lot of working upon mottling. I call them mottling washes. You're actually going to end up doing a total of 3 of these layers. And as you can see, I'm just pouncing right next to where I stamped. And when you see the paint start to lighten, put more paint on your brush. Just get the thinner out before you put it onto your sponge, and you just pounce it on there. I think I get paint about like 3 to 4 times depending on the size of the limb. Like this doll, I might do another. Yeah, see, I get more paint. It just depends upon the size of the doll, but when you notice your pink getting lighter, then you just get more paint. Again, it's just the shades of pinks that I like. I use a few different colors I mix together to get the coloring. So we're just going to go through all of the limbs, and I'll show you the face and the arm. And then when it dries, you go back through and do a second layer. And after that second layer, then you're going to bake. And then when you pull it out the oven, you're going to do a third layer. And then you'll bake on that layer. So, yeah. You know, but it just, every time you do this wash, my modeling wash, it just builds and builds and builds the skin. Each time you add mottling, the baby looks a little bit more alive. And then, you know, the further you get into work, it's more alive. It's just all about building on top of your colors, and that's what makes the skin tone. So that's after 1 layer of mottling, what the doll looks like. The limbs looks pretty good. It's all even, pretty consistent, and that's what you want to pay attention to. Now this is what the second layer of mottling looks like. Again, more life. It's more alive looking, consistent, even across. You do the head as well. You know, nothing is left undone. You do the back of the head. I hear some people don't do the back of the head, but I do everything. And then here we are into the third layer of mottling. So, yeah, there we are. And now after this, we're going to get into blushing. Oh my goodness. Blushing is just going to add so much. Are you ready? You ready to see some blushing? All right, let's get to blushing. So my blushing is much, much thicker. Again, it's just some reds and pinks I've mixed together. So whatever kind of blushing you like, you know. So I just blush the entire hand, and as you can see, it's much thicker than the mottling. That's okay. We want it to be thick. So as I blush each limb, I let them sit. I blush all the limbs before I go and blend the paint off. It's important. I feel like when working with hands and feet, some reason they have a hard time at the color setting. I don't know why. And when you go to blend the paint off, it's like there was no paint ever there. So I've learned just putting this nice coat, letting it set all the way through each limb is the best thing to do. I do the face separately though. I don't do that at the same time as the limbs. And when I'm done, we use a blending brush to blend all this paint off and to make it look so nice and pretty. So right now, here I'm using, I believe it's a foundation brush by e.l.f. You'll want a more firmer brush. I like the foundation brushes. I think they work the best. As you can see, I'm pretty rough with that. The reason why I use the makeup brush is because the makeup brush actually moves the paint around, kind of like how when you're painting your face with makeup. It moves the paint around kind of smoothly, flawlessly. I like it a lot. But don't get me wrong, you can leave brush marks if you're not paying attention, so pay attention to your work. And just brush, you know, how you see the paint moving. Sometimes I have to take that brush and brush it on, as you saw right now, I just brushed it on my, I work on top of pea pads, so I brushed it on the pad right there. So that's how I get rid of like excess paint, because sometimes I'm like, I'm moving the paint but it's not coming off. It's still too bright for me. So this is what I like, because I like them to be just a little bright, because the layers that we're going to be doing next, which will be part of the skin tone, I call them yellow mottling layers. They actually like tone your pinks down a little bit. So I like them to be a little more pink up front than at the end, but they're not blistering red. Like, as you can see compared to my hand, like they're not like, bam, wow, that's pink. So I don't know. It's really hard. It's kind of one of those things you have to find what is the right type of pinkness for you and your paints. It's all takes time, guys. You know, it's taken me 10 years to just know what the hell I'm doing and not really have to think about it. You know, kind of just get over there and paint and be like, okay, the doll's done. It didn't take much thought. Where 3-4 years into my work, I was still like, oh my God, this is a nightmare. Every time I have to try to remember which way to go with this, blah, blah, blah. But so, yeah, anyways. So like I said, I blushed the head separately because the paint does set very fast, and I don't want a blistering red cheeked eared baby. But they are pink. Don't get me wrong. They're going to be pink once we once we blend the paint with the brush. Excuse the dogs, they're playing right now. They think playtime is like when it's during video time. So as you see, I'm just blending that paint, right? It's just moving. Look at how it just moves up the kit and around the face. Like, that's what you want. You don't want like a shriek of like, here, I put my blush on. You know, you want to blend it in, and it's going to help create a skin tone. Once you see at the end, you're going to be like, wow, okay, she only uses like 3 different colors when she paints, and that's what she creates. Like, I don't really use a lot of paints. It's all about layers and stacking them and turning your sponge a different angle when you're doing the next mottling layer to create different patterns in there. And I don't know. And so sometimes I have to take a cosmetic sponge to clear out from under the eyes. I don't like it to get my blush to come up on the bottom of the eye like that. So yeah, so this is our first step. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching my tutorial. There's going to be part 2 coming. I love to just share the art with you guys and leave feedback below. Let me know how it went for you. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay positive.